This third and final video will be a demonstration of actually how to clean a Pelikan cartridge converter pen. While my preferences are for the piston fillers, there are some very good cartridge converter pens out there, and cleaning them is just a slightly different technique than what has been described above. For this demonstration, I'll use the Summer Splash Pelikan Twist, which is one of Pelikan's more contemporary cartridge converter pens. We'll remove the cap. Set that there for a second. I take 2 cups as I previously described, and I fill them with, in my case, distilled water, as the hardness of my home's tap water is a little unacceptable to me. I'll unscrew the back of the pen. Now, a lot of people use just cartridges, so you won't have this converter here. This is an actual Pelikan converter. I favor converters if I'm going to use a cartridge converter pen, but again, a lot of people like cartridges, so you may just have an empty cartridge here, which you would pop out and throw away. So what I'm going to do is turn this up and remove the converter. I'll empty this out, in this case over the sink. And what I'll do here is just stick it in the water and cycle the piston several times, just like you actually would with a piston filling fountain pen, except this is a very clear converter, and you can quite quickly see that you've achieved your result with an essentially clean converter. Now, you do be aware that ink kind of gets trapped at the area of the seal in the back, so if you do a little bit of up and down motion, you can really free up some of that dried ink, or some of that ink that's kind of trapped there. And when that no longer comes back, you have a fairly clean converter. So that's the easy part, cleaning the converter. What you're left, however, though, is a section and feed full of ink. So how do you get rid of that? One thing you could do certainly is put the converter back on the pen if you use a converter, and just cycle it several times, again, just like you would with a piston filling fountain pen, until the feed is flushed. Though the converter doesn't hold a ton of ink, and that can take some time to accomplish and can be a little frustrating. One thing you can do to fast track the process is use a bulb syringe. These are available at most grocery stores, convenience stores, drug stores. They have medical purposes, used for irrigation, known as an ear bulb syringe or just regular bulb syringe. So what I'll do is you push on the back of the syringe, depressing it, and stick it in the water. And what it'll do is, you can see, draw up a significant amount of the water. Sometimes you may need to cut the tip to suit your purposes, sometimes not. That's up to you and the type of pens you use. What I do is I hold the pen section and nib over the water, and I insert the syringe, the bulb syringe, into the back. And this can get messy, but you can see a steady stream of water flow through the feed as I depress the bulb, releasing its contents. So this is basically a quicker way to flush. And I'll continue this a couple times. This one's pretty efficient, so you just need 2 or 3 cycles. Now, you won't get a perfect seal, so you will have some spillage, so you want to make sure you do this in an area where you have some towels laid down. But you get a pretty good clean feed with this. I'll switch to my second cup, again siphoning up the water, and I'll give it one more run through here. And you can see the water's running through fairly cleanly. At this point, I'll put the bulb aside, I'll take a towel, and I'll dry my section because it's gotten quite wet by this point. You can see the feed will still have some remnants of ink in it, and so you may have to repeat a couple times. But all in all, that should be a quick and easy method for cleaning a cartridge converter pen. Especially if you don't use the converter portion, only use cartridges. It's a one-time investment, which is actually very cheap. You reassemble the pen, and you're good to go.